If your business isn't generating sales, it's often easy to say it's a sales problem or it's the sales team. But is it really? Now, in this video, I want to cover that exact topic by looking at a couple of different things. But I want to answer, is it a sales problem? So stick around and find out what exactly I'm talking about. Now, when we talk about sales in a business and there's no sales happening, it often gets asked or often gets pointed at the sales team and says it's a sales problem. But I think before we jump to that point, because that's kind of like diagnosing and saying it's because of the sales team, but is it? I think before we get to that point, there's an important question we need to ask, and it's whether or not your business is actually getting inquiries, right? Are people asking you about your business, about your services? So are you getting any queries? Are you getting any inquiries? Right? Yes or no? Now, if the answer is yes, it means you are getting people into your business. So it's possible that it could be a sales problem. Possibly. But if you are not getting any queries or not getting any inquiries, it could be something else. Probably it's not your sales team. Now, you need to diagnose and find out why. How must a salesperson sell to someone who's not inquiring or querying about your business? If there's nobody to sell to, who must they sell to? Now, cold outreach is part of the sales process. Yes, I do understand that. Your sales team probably spends time prospecting and generating leads. But those are cold leads or cold prospects. They are often more difficult to sell to than warm leads and warm prospects. So you need a mix of these. And if you are getting queries and inquiries about your business, about your products, about your services, anybody querying and inquiring is already a warmer lead. Somehow they have found out about your business, about your product, about your service. And it's easier for a salesperson to sell to a warm lead. So let's zoom in on this a little bit more. If you are not getting queries and inquiries, you need to ask yourself why. Sorry, my spelling, my writing this morning, terrible. You need to ask yourself why. Why are you not getting that? Where does that problem lie? Now, it could be in a few different things, okay? It could be your marketing and advertising, right? I actually made a note of a few things because I want to skip something that's not important, but it could be awareness about your business. Could be that there's no urgency, right, in what you're selling. So if somebody even sees an advert, nothing is urgent, they're not going to contact you. It could be that you are not getting any referrals. It could be that your team, and that's where it comes to that cold leads and stuff, there's no leads, or prospecting is bad or non-existent. There could be various different reasons why you're not receiving any queries and inquiries. And I am one of the big believers in marketing and advertising. If nobody is seeing your business in front of them, nobody is hearing about your business, how do you expect them to contact you? But I'm not saying that's the only issue. Could be a few different issues. Now, sales is one part of a customer journey. So if you're looking at a customer journey, here's your customer. And they start from zero, where they know nothing about your business, right? So they are, a cold or warm prospect, but they literally at point zero when it comes to becoming a client. And then right at the end, they become a client. So this is the customer journey. And along the way, there's a couple of things. So at point zero, it's somebody who knows nothing at all about you, your business. They've never heard about you. It's like you don't exist. But along the way, there's a couple of things that happen. And at some point in here, yes, sales then plays an important role. So if they reach that point in the customer journey where the sales team starts talking to them and after the sales team talks to them, they still do not buy. Maybe that's a sales problem. Maybe that's then a sales issue, and you might need to examine that. But if they are not even reaching the sales process, if they are falling off somewhere before the sales process and the sales journey happens, you need to find out why. What is going wrong? This comes back to the whole idea and concept as well of a sales funnel. I'm sure all of you have seen, you get this whole sort of funnel idea. And again, a lot of warm and cold prospects and leads come into this funnel. And then only a few pop out at the end, right? And that's your customers. In this funnel, people do fall off. So not everyone that goes into your sales funnel will come out at the end as a customer. But because the number that's going in is much greater than the number that comes out, you always need to examine the funnel itself. And you need to try and see, where is the leak? So where are people falling off in the sales funnel? And why are they falling off? Once you cover and you identify all of those, so let's say you've examined possible issues in your business. You've looked at your marketing and your advertising. You've looked at your branding. You've looked at referrals. You've looked at how your salespeople are prospecting, how you're generating leads. If you look at all of these, and if you examine your sales funnel, so this is another important thing you need to examine. So first, look at all these items, then look at your sales funnel. After you've examined these, so if there's no problem with marketing and advertising, and people are entering your sales funnel, maybe this could be a sales problem. So is it that maybe they don't present well enough? Is it that they, so it could be presentation, right? They're lacking skills in maybe how they present or how they are talking to your customers. Could it be then that there is a closing problem? Could it be that there is, they don't know how to handle objections and stuff like that? This could be a sales problem. So if you've examined all of this and you've examined your funnel, a lot of people are falling off. That could be a sales problem. But just because your business is maybe not generating sales or not generating as many sales as you want, don't jump into conclusions that it's a sales problem. This is a question worth asking, but only after you've looked at everything else. Focus on this one. Inquiries. Is your business getting inquiries? Because if your phone is sitting one side, or your receptionist is sitting the whole day on social media, scrolling on her phone, whatever, if your phone is not ringing, and if you are not getting emails, you're not getting leads through your social media campaigns, whatever you're doing, if that is not happening, it's not a sales problem. So I encourage you as a business owner not to jump to the conclusion that it's the sales team, but examine everything else. If everything else is fine and you're not getting sales, it could be a sales problem.